gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be the life. I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be the life. 'Cause that'll be the life. 'Cause that'll be the life.
Hello again and welcome to episode 58 of Main Street Martin and the third part of our summer 2025 holiday series from the Algarve, staying in the coastal resort of Olhao near to Faro. Now, in the first two parts of this series we explored Olhao and Faro, and in previous episodes we've also been to places like Malta and Madeira, taken city breaks in Brussels, Porto, Vienna and Salzburg, visited Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, various other theme parks in the USA and Europe, and had many other holidays in places like Greece, Mexico, Portugal and Spain. We've also enjoyed cruises on various Carnival, Princess and MSC ships, producing series for this channel in places like Curacao, Marseille, Rome, Bruges, Naples and Athens. Don't forget you can still check out all of those previous episodes right here on this channel, and if you enjoy any of the videos, please make sure you click on the like button, ring that notification bell to be informed of any future videos, and if you possibly can, please help the channel by subscribing. Now, as I mentioned, this episode is the third in a series exploring the eastern Algarve. We've flown from East Midlands Airport with Jet 2 and are staying at the Real Marina Hotel and Spa in the coastal city of Olhao. And today, we're up bright and early to get a boat at 8 o'clock, venturing out into the Ria Formosa and beyond in search of dolphins.
this is the point where we leave the Ria Formosa and we enter the open sea, just between these two marker points. This 2 to 3 hour boat trip was fascinating and inexpensive. We checked the prices at lots of the different operators. We booked through Jet2 and paid around £30. They can range between 30 and 40. But it's fascinating to see the dolphins in their natural habitat, although you are told at the very beginning there is no guarantee, because of course as wild animals they move freely and you can't guarantee you'll see them at all. But they said 95% of the time the skippers know where they're taking you, where the frequented spots are, and you should see them. The tour departs from the marina opposite our hotel, which was handy. It was easy to check in, get on the boat, get off the boat. You are given a life jacket as well. And then you have a couple of hours out in the Ria Formosa and beyond to enjoy the natural beauty of the area and hopefully see some dolphins. Now we saw some, as you saw at the very beginning of our journey. We spent a couple of hours at sea and saw nothing at all, and then when we came back into the Ria Formosa and were approaching the marina again, we saw 6 dolphins in a row, all swimming together. So there's our hotel in the background with the umbrellas on the rooftop there where the pool is, as we get back to the Marina Ria Centre, having seen 2 lots of dolphins. So here we are, it's the Friday of our first week and we're here at the train station in Olhao, and we've got our tickets for a 25-minute train journey to the nearby town of Tavira. The train journey went very quickly indeed, and in no time at all we were soon getting off the train in Tavira to take a leisurely walk into the centre of the town. So this is Tavira, a small riverside town, and due to its unique location, it blends an historic riverside town with many of the features of a typical seaside resort, and at the same time retains much of its authentic Portuguese charm. It's in fact one of the oldest settlements with a rich history spanning the Phoenicians, the Romans through to the Moorish period.
You'll find evidence, history and archaeological influence from its very long history. In the Praça da República you'll find fountains, palm trees, a public auditorium, historic buildings and lots of cafes. It's an impressive square and it welcomes you to Tavira. Now on one side of the square you'll find a long building with several archways. This is the Portuguese equivalent of a town hall.
We're going to stop for a drink in a moment's time, but your eye is immediately drawn over to this far corner, which is Tavira's most historic bridge. It's the Ponte Romana de Tavira. Although the name might trick you, it's actually not Roman. It was built sometime around the 12th century to replace a bridge believed to have been Roman or have Roman origins. It's a postcard perfect bridge. It's one of Tavira's most famous places and it's pedestrian only, so you can really take your time and enjoy the walk even if you're not crossing the river. We're not sure yet, but we may come back next week. It'd be interesting to know what they're putting the decorations up for.
A short walk from the Praça da República through this archway takes you up to the remains of Tavira's castle. This church has a small museum and a shop. The admission is just €2 if you want to see the church and €3 if you also want to go up to the top of the bell tower. It's open from Mondays at 9 o'clock to 12 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and from Tuesday to Saturdays from 9 until 12:30 and then from 2 until 5:30 in the afternoon, and it's closed on Sundays.
So this particular church was built in the mid-16th century and has been described as one of the finest examples of Renaissance architecture in the Algarve. And
Many of the churches in the Algarve are free to go inside and have a look around. Some do have a small admission, and others like this give you the opportunity to climb the steps to the top of the bell tower for some fabulous views.
From the top of the bell tower you can see the Roman bridge and the river. And once we descended from the top of the bell tower, we continued our journey up the hill to Tavira's castle. Just a few more steps from the square up towards the castle brings you to the Municipal Museum. Amazing view over the river, which really does give me Porto vibes because of the double-decker bridge. So it's clear to see that this was a once impressive castle, the location of fierce fighting between the Moors and the Portuguese forces during the Reconquest period. It's believed that the first castle here was of Moorish origin, but evidence of a Phoenician settlement has been found as well. And following the Reconquest and during the reign of King Dinis in the 13th century, it was repaired and reinforced. So this castle is basically most of it in ruin, but it's fascinating to come and have a look nevertheless. And you can have a look around the beautiful gardens downstairs. You can go up to the wall. This is one of the towers. As you can see in the distance, the walls, the beautiful garden, another tower, and it's absolutely free to come inside and have a look around. Gives you some beautiful views as well over Tavira. You see the castle goes right up into the distance over there. That's how big it would have been. So what's left here are the thick stone walls and several towers. The panoramic views from here are absolutely fabulous, some of the best you'll find in Tavira. On the other side you'll be able to see along the river, out into the Ria Formosa and up into the mountains of the Algarve. And inside the castle grounds, as you've seen, there's a well-maintained garden with an array of Mediterranean plants. If the weather's hot like it is today, the shade of the walls and the tall trees inside make it a great place to stop and catch your breath. It's open from 10 until 5 during winter months, 10 until 7 during the summer, and as I mentioned before, there's no entrance fee at all. So we were wandering around, we bought a ticket that gave us access to 3 churches. However, the other 2 churches that we've been to try and visit, it says they close at 1 o'clock. Well, we were at the first one at 12:40 and it was already closed. So we're wandering around and we found this former convent of Our Lady of Grace, which is now a restaurant. So we're going to try and find a drink and see if these churches open again this afternoon. So when you come out of the back of the castle, it leads you to Lago Abu Otmain, the location of 2 of Tavira's notable churches. Would you believe there are 37 churches in Tavira? The first is this, Igreja de Santa Maria do Castelo. Its bell towers and large white and yellow clock faces are really easily recognisable from all over Tavira. Hopefully it's open again, because when we came before 1 o'clock it was closed and it's supposed to reopen at 2 o'clock. So let's go and see. The original church was built here in the 13th century. It was originally built in Gothic style, but there have been lots of additions from the 16th century onwards. It's actually built on the site of a mosque. Lots of Moorish artifacts have been found as well on this site. unlike many of the churches, you can actually go up to the bell tower. That means climbing more steps, and goodness only knows how many we've climbed today. But here we go again. So directly behind the Church of Santa Maria is the Iglesia Matriz de Santiago. It's only a short walk away. It's also possible here to head up the bell tower as well, but the views are very similar to the castle or the Church of Santa Maria. Now this church dates from a similar period. It's believed to have been built on top of a Moorish building again. However, it was donated to the Order of Santiago, where it takes its name from, and its main unusual feature is the large gold medallion featuring a knight on the front of the main facade.
Tavira is a charming town, and we decided that we really did want to go back, especially when we discovered that the festival they were preparing for was a special festival in June to honour the popular saints, St Anthony, St John and St Peter, and that's why the streets were decorated. There are dances, there's feasting, live music, drinking and street parties. It's just a great time to be in Tavira and to celebrate with the locals. But don't worry if you're not going in June, because there are other festivals throughout the summer, in July and in August, as well as in the first weekend in October, and also the second and third week in November. And that's as well as the traditional religious festivals the weekend before Christmas and over Easter. But whatever time of year you go to Tavira, you can really enjoy those celebrations with the locals.
Thank you. This is the old market building, which is now being turned into cafes and restaurants and shops. And the new market is the one that has the fish and the fresh fruit and veg.
As dusk arrived, we spent some time just looking at the crabs down by the river before heading back into the centre of town, where the festival was now getting underway. The town really came to life at night and looked even more beautiful as darkness fell. And I'm afraid that's it for now from Tavira, but make sure you join me next time to explore more of the Algarve from our base in Olhao. In the meantime, take a look at the other videos on the channel featuring Caribbean and Mediterranean cruises, plus our visits to eco parks and theme parks in Mexico, the United States and Europe. You'll also find city breaks in the UK and Europe, as well as short breaks providing top tips, hints and ideas. As always, if you enjoy any of the videos, you can really help the channel by clicking on the like button, ringing that notification bell and subscribing. And I hope you can join me next time for episode 59 of Main Street Martin, when we visit the nearby town of Loule and explore the walking trails in the Ria Formosa Natural Park.
I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a class to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight.